So I'm going to demonstrate the warm-up exercises first, which will be about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how quickly you move. And it's always good to start by just kind of grounding yourself and centering first. So standing with the feet hip width apart, the weight, thinking of the weight on the four corners of the feet, so on the ball of the foot, the side of the foot, and then the two corners of the heels, so the toes can be really free and loose. So you're not clenching your toes or pressing like that. So starting there and placing your hands on the lower abdomen, which is where the seat of Qi rests, the Dantian. And for a few breaths, maybe 3 breaths, just feeling the movement of the Dantian as you inhale into the lower abdomen and then exhale. And then it's nice to begin a session with the greeting, where you make a fist with the right hand and then close the other hand around it, acknowledging that you are giving yourself this gift and that the gift comes from many people before me who I had as my teachers. So we'll begin with the ankles, and first finding balance with the toes spread and supporting you and making ankle circles. And we're going to do about 8 circles in each direction, going one way, and then 8 circles in the other direction. And as you do the exercises too, you're thinking about always breathing into the Dantian. And changing to the other foot, finding your balance first, sensing the whole support of that leg, lifting, and 8 circles with this ankle. The other way. Now we'll spread the toes, so lifting the one foot up and curling the toes and spreading. Freeing the toes from the tyranny of the shoes. And the other foot, finding your balance, lifting, breathing into the Dantian. Now bring your feet so that they're not quite touching, but they're fairly close together. Taking both hands and placing them on your knees, and then making very gentle and easy circles with your knees. Going with only what's painless for you, it's very easy. And going in the other direction. And separating the feet now just a little wider than your hips, and bringing your hands to the kneecaps again, and now making circles, a little wider circle, but also only doing the kind of circle that doesn't hurt you. And then changing direction. The toes are relaxed, ankles are moving. And then taking a moment to just kind of center yourself again. And now bringing your hands to the hips and making circles with the hips, imagining that you're inside a barrel and circling the hips around inside the barrel. Now we'll do swinging the arms. So have your feet a little bit wider apart, and the movement of the feet of the legs is going to be from side to side, and then you'll add a little turn with the pelvis. So you start the movement with the pelvis and swinging the arms. The arms just swing very easily, and then they land on the body. And now we can add, after doing several of the swings and warming the spine up for twisting, we can add a little paida. So meaning you hit in different places, so you can bring your hands to hit in your back, just with a little bit more force, but nothing painful. And you can also do that on the shoulders. and then continuing the swing. And you'll sense that when you swing like this, you really stop the movement from the pelvis. And then gathering, and often we use mountain pose in the middle to just kind of gather up the energy, gather up the chi that you've made, and spend a moment to feel your feet, sense the earth or the floor, and allow the breathing once again to settle down into the dantian. Now we'll do turning the wheel. So imagine you have a big wheel that you're turning, and you're going to turn the wheel, and so this makes your spine bend to the side. Very comfortable, very easy. The hips swing from side to side, and you just very gently bend the ribs. Mountain pose. Now we will do shoulder circles, so you can place your hands somewhere in the front where it's comfortable, and then making great big circles with the shoulder blades. Make sure you do movement that is comfortable. And then the other direction. Check that your feet are relaxed. Now open and close the hands. So the following one is called Buddha hands. I learned this from a teacher who teaches a Buddha hands form of Qigong. So one foot is forward, one is back. The toes are spread and relaxed, and I have most of the weight on the front leg. 60% on the front, 40% on the back. The movement begins by the movement of the shoulders. My arms are going to be going forward and back. And then the last piece is turning the hand. So the front hand is turned upward, and the back hand is turned backward. So as I change the direction, right, there's that twist of the arms and they're turning. So we'll start by in the front and begin the swinging of the shoulders. And make this speed whatever is easy for you. Keep the weight on the front leg more, 60%. Then you'll change the foot position and sit back on the back leg, bend the front ankle, same movement from the shoulders. Pelvis stays still. And we're going to change so the other foot is in the front. Think of 60%, check your toes, sense of the whole body. And we begin with the front arm, the palm up to receive, and the back arm receives in the back. Swing from the shoulders. Okay. So now you'll need a little stone. So I have a nice river stone. You can also use anything with just a little bit of weight. I call this a figure of 8 with a stone, but it's also often known as a teacup. So you take the hand you're not using, place it in the lower back, and this arm is going to start to make a movement where your hand is following the line of a figure of 8. So imagine that there's an 8 on the side of yourself. You begin by bringing the hand kind of scraping along your hip, scooping it up and over. And it's a movement of the whole body. And your breathing matches the movement in whatever way it organizes. You can feel the movement through the legs, the pelvis, the arm, but don't do anything painful. Change hands, check your feet, toes are relaxed, you're balanced on the 4 corners of the feet. You begin by going inside and start slowly. And then once you get the hang of it, you can speed up the movement. It's as if you're holding a teacup in your hand and not spilling the tea. Once more, centering yourself. And now we'll do a spinal roll. So the spinal roll is just allowing the spine to curl down, beginning from the head. So your knees are relaxed, the toes are spread, the feet are supporting you, and you start to just drop the head, and then drop each level of the spine. And as you go up and down, make sure your head is hanging free. Your head is very free. So we'll add to the spinal roll now. I'll show you sideways what you'll do with your hands. When you get down, you're going to place your hands out in front of you on the floor and then shift your weight from the hands to the feet back and forth. So dropping the head and feeling that movement gradually go down your spine. The knees are relaxed. Head is free. Place your hands in front of you. Gently shift the weight. Look between your hands and shift the weight back. Then we'll uncurl slowly, coming up, pushing with your legs into the earth, gradually bringing your pelvis and then your vertebra back up. And breathing, and we'll do that one more time, allowing the head to drop, the spine to roll down, the head to be free and hanging. Placing the hands a little bit in front of you where you can see, shifting your weight forward and back. If you have trouble with your wrists, you could always use your knuckles and have your hands come onto your knuckles. Coming all the way up. And sensing in mountain pose once more, allowing all the internal sensations, breathing into the dantian. And now we'll do tapping the body. So you make a little fist with your hand like you're holding a broomstick, and then begin by tapping up the arm and down the inside. Up the outer arm, the other arm, tapping across your chest, tapping in the back, rubbing around the kidneys, tapping down the outside of the leg, up the inside, and again, waking up the body. Your other leg, tapping the head. You can just use your fingertips for tapping all along the head, especially in the crown area, coming at the base of the skull here and just making little circles, little rubbing. And then finally, just stroking the face, just getting all the flow to go. And then ending your warm-up session with some mountain pose, allowing the aliveness of the body sensations to be present, and breathing into the dantian. So that's the end of the warm-ups, and the next video we'll do the more poetic movements of Qigong.